add that spiritual impetus to our lives as we face up to a new week of challenges. We begin with opening prayer. So we concentrate, and by now everybody should be a bit more familiar with this opening prayer that we use. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namah. Om Shri Saraswatyaya Namah. Om Shanno Mitraha Sham Varunah Shanno Bhavata Aryama Shanna Indro Brihaspati Shanno Vishnu Rurukrama Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmahamavatu Tadavataramavatu Avatu Maham Avatu Vaktaram Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. बोली श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय। बैठ जाइए। Now, devotees, we proceed. We visualize Virat Swarup. We refer to this form also as Narayan. But Narayan, in this context, is not Vishnu Bhagwan. Narayan refers to the infinite in this context. There is manifest and unmanifest. So the Narayan is also used to refer to, in this context that we are doing it, to that infinite, unmanifest. Not Sagun, not manifest divinity like Lord Vishnu. This form we meditate upon is the sum total of all forms. So when you hear I say Narayan, it is not really Vishnu Bhagwan, but it is the infinite. So we concentrate upon that infinite, that Virat Swarup, the representation of the infinite, and a few verses from the Narayan Suktam as we go into Bara Akshar Mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, we begin. Sahasra Shirisham Devam, Vikshvaksham, Vishvashambhuvam, Vishvam Narayanam Devam, Aksharam Paramam Prabhum. We ask to meditate upon that effulgent one, of myriad heads and myriad eyes, from whom hath come forth all the good in the world. Who is this universe, that great deity dwelling inside the elements, the changeless, the Supreme Lord. Vishvatah Paramam Nityam, Vishvam Narayanam Harim, Vishvame Vedang Purushas, Tad Vishvam Upajivati. Meditate upon him who is superior to the whole world, and yet the whole world, in being the soul of everything in it, the eternal, the mainstay and support of all the individual souls, the mighty dispeller of ignorance. The whole world is that great being. He makes use of the world, and his existence depends upon him. Pating Vishwasya Atmeshwaram Shashvatam Shivam Achyutam Narayanam Mahageyam Vishwa Atmanam Parayanam. Meditate upon the Lord of the world, the Atman, the ruler of all creatures, the ever-existent, the great good, the immutable, the Narayan, who is a great object to be known, the soul of the universe, the supreme refuge. Narayanah Param Brahma, Tattvang Narayanah Paraha, Narayanah Paro Jyotir, Atma Narayanah Paraha. Narayan is the supreme Brahm principle. Narayan is the supreme beyond all forms, the supreme enlightenment, the supreme self. Narayan, Vasudev Bhagwan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. You know what you're meditating upon, devotees? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Devotees, from that infinite, unmanifest. We focus upon the manifest. Ram, Sri Krishna. Prabhu Sri Ram, Prabhu Sri Krishna. Understand the journey. That unmanifest became manifest for our sakes. Hari Om Ram Krishna Hari Om Ram. 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 Hari Om Ram Ram Hari Om Ram. Hari Om Ram Krishna 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 Hari Om Ram. Hari Om Ram Ram Hari Om Ram. Hari Om Ram Krishna 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 Hari Om Ram. Hari Om Ram Ram Hari Om Ram. Hari Om Ram Krishna Hari Om Ram. Hari Om Ram Ram Hari Om Ram. बोलिए श्री नारायण भगवान की जय. Devotees, some of you may have a copy of what we term is Shiv Pratah Smaran Stotram, where I've mentioned this before, that early in the morning time, it's very good to begin your day with this stotra, simple stotram. So those of you who have not yet had a copy of it, you will get one in due course. I believe a few people have, so I will just get into it. We have copies at the back? All right, so we can distribute here. Yeah. So I will just recite it. You can follow, and I'll give you the meaning. We didn't put the meaning in it because I want to try to get a meaning from the Sanskrit if you can. So we visualize Bhagwan Shankar, Deen Dayalu Kripa Sagar. Pratah Smarami Bhavabhiti Haram Suresham Gangadharam Vrishabha Vahanam Ambikesham Khatanga Shula Varadabhaya Hastamisham Sansara Roga Haram Aushadham Advitiyam. It means, at dawn, I contemplate on Shiva, the God of gods, Suresham, the remover of the fear of transmigration, Bhavabhiti Haram, who holds a Ganga in his locks, Gangadharam, rides a bull, the Lord of Ambika, together with him, right? Vahan, Vrishabha Vahan Ambikesham, the wielder of the club and spear, Khatanga Shula, 2 hands, Varadabhaya Hastamisham, with the other 2 hands offering boon, and the other one protection, Abhay, be fearless. I meditate upon that Supreme, who is the one infallible remedy for the afflictions of sansar, relative existence. Pratar namami girisham girijarad deham, sargas chiti pralay karanam adi devam, Vishveshwaram Vijata Vishwamanobhiramam Sansara Rogaharam Aushadham Advitiyam. At dawn, I bow down, Namami. The first one is Smarami, meditate, contemplate. Second one, I bow down, Namami. At dawn, I bow down to Shiva, half of whose body is made up of Durga. Ardhanarishwar, that beautiful form we have there. Ardhanarishwar. He is the primeval Lord, who is the cause of the projection, creation, Sarg, Sthiti, maintenance, or Pralay, the dissolution of this world. Adi Devam, the foremost, the Lord of the universe, Adi Devam, the conqueror of the world, who captivates the mind, and he who is the one infallible remedy for the afflictions of relative existence, sansar. Pratar bhajami Shivam ekananta madhyam Vedanta vedya managham Purushang mahandam Nam adi bheda rahitam Khadbhava shunyam Sansara roga haram Aushadham advitiyam. At dawn, I worship. So we start off by meditating, contemplating the Lord. Then I bow down to Him. Now I worship Him. At dawn I worship Shiva, the one, Shivam Ekam, Anantam, the prime cause, foremost of all. That prime cause taught only by Vedanta. Vedanta Veda Managham, Purushang Mahandam. That one Supreme Lord who is devoid of the differentiations of name. Nam Adi Bheda Rahitam. No differentiation, as well as the 6 modifications that we all undergo. Growth, existence, birth, maturity, decay, and death. He is beyond all that. Khadabhava Shunyam. He is the one infallible remedy for the afflictions of relative existence. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. This is a wonderful story to learn, devotees, understand what it means, and perhaps on a weekly basis I will tell you the meaning. Because I want you to learn, you see, the Sanskrit is important. That has the effect. The meaning is okay, but the Sanskrit, the terms themselves have the power. Pratar namami, pratar bhajami. If you can get into it, it means something. It activates energy centers within the body. This is why we still maintain our Sanskrit invocation and mantras. You can say everything in English, it doesn't have the same effect. You will understand it, but it doesn't have the same effect as if you chant the mantras in the Sanskrit. Get that clear? Each letter in the Sanskrit alphabet relates to a particular chakra in the body, a particular part of the body. And when these Sanskrit invocations are chanted, you actually create an energy flow within yourselves. Just get it clear. This is why even Tulsi Das, when he wrote Ramayana, he maintained the Sanskrit invocation. Even though he put Ramayana in Bhasha, the language of the ordinary man, yet he maintained the Sanskrit invocation. So this is why I advise that leave the Sanskrit. You can put a transliteration, at least you'll get some idea of the pronunciation. The explanation I will tell you. Try to learn it. Learn it from the Sanskrit itself. But you chant in the Sanskrit. Right? There are certain mantras you can't translate into English. How would you translate Om Hreem? Om Kleem? Could you translate that? But chanting it, there's a very, very powerful effect that we have in us. So get this clear, devotees. You know, there is understanding, we need to understand. But the practice itself is the key because of the language itself. Sanskrit, perhaps the world's oldest language. But it relates, as I said, to the human body. This is why we maintain the practice of it. No laziness. No laziness. And Bhagwan understands everything. But you see, this is the important thing about the Sanskrit invocation. I may not understand. I chant it, but it does something for me. I may understand something and say it, but I say it for understanding's sake. What effect does it have on me? You have to answer that. So even a child can chant the mantra and benefit from it because of the Sanskrit invocation, the Sanskrit language itself. So we maintain that. Okay, devotees? So just trust me in this one. Okay? Trust me. When time to understand, I will explain to you. When time to learn, I say learn. You won't go wrong. So this is a very powerful Shiv Pratah Smaran Stotram, meditating on Shivaji first thing in the morning time as you get up. At dawn. Not at 10 o'clock. At dawn. When the man says, at dawn. Okay? Feel the effect. Tap into the energies. It's to our benefit. Bholi Shri Umapati Mahadeva Ki Jai. Devotees, we glorify our Pancha Devatas, we make preparation for puja. Join everybody. He Ramba Hare Jai, He Ramba Hare. 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 Jai Durga Hare, Jai Jai Durga Hare. Jai Durga Hare, Jai Jai Devi Hare. Jai Durga Hare, Jai Jai Devi Hare. Jai Durga Hare, Jai Jai Devi Hare. Jai Shiva Hare, Jai Jai Shiva Hare. Jai Shiva Hare, Jai Jai Shiva Hare. Jai Shiva Hare, Jai Jai Shiva Hare. Jai Shiva Hare, Shiva Shankar Hare. Jai Vishnu Hare, Jai Jai Vishnu 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 Hare. आदित्य हरे जय आदित्य हरे 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 जय राम हरे जय कृष्ण 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 हरे ओ जपा कर यही नाम मन बावरे ओ जपा कर यही नाम मन बावरे जपा कर यही नाम मन बावरे ओ जपा कर यही नाम मन बावरे जय राम हरे जय कृष्ण हरे ओ जपा कर यही नाम मन बावरे जय राम हरे जय कृष्ण हरे ओ जपा कर यही नाम मन बावरे बोली सी पंच देवता की जय. We perform puja. Yes. Take up some rice. Om Gajananang Bhutaganadi Sevitam Kapita Jambu Falasar Bhakshanam Umasutam Shoka Vinashakaranam Namami Vigneshwara Pada Pankajam Sarva Mangal Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanya Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Namah Sharvaya Shantaya Shambhave Shambhave Namah Vidyeshwar Namastubhyam Bhuteshwar Namostute. Om Ang Jwalit Mukhe Arun Mata Varun Pita Shandil Gotra Pavakanam Agni Devaya Namostute. Om Agach Deva Devesha Tejo Rasi Jagatpate Kriyama Nang Maya Pujang Grihan Sur Satyama. Om Nana Ratna Samayuktam Kartaswara Vibhushatam Asanam Deva Devesha Prichartam Pratigrihitam. Let's begin from the Lord Ganesh. Ganganapataye Namah Devi Mata Namaschandikayai Om Namah Shivaya Om Agindevaye Namaha Avahayami Sthapayami Pujayami. Offer a drop of water each place. Om Gangas Chaiva Godavari Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sannidhi Kuru. Pass it around the fire and offer it on the leaf. Do that 1-3 times. Om Varunasya Tambhanmasi Varunasya Skambha Sarjanistu Varunasarita Sadanyasi Varunasarita Sadanamasi Varunasarita Sadanmasit Shadhudak Snanam Samorpayami Chandan. Om Sri Khand Chandanam Dibyam Gandhadhyam Sumanoharam Vilepanam Surasreshtam Chandanam Pratikrihitam. Vivek, these 3 fingers. Right? And from north to south, 3 horizontal lines. Yeah, on the lingam. Yeah. Right. Good. Again. Put by the fire. Just one on the leaf right there. Yeah. Okay. Flowers each place. By Ganesh Baba, I put the dubgas and flowers. Om Pushpam Samarpayami, Durv Ankuran Samarpayami, Ganganapataye Namaha. Devi Ma, flowers and neem leaf. Om Hrim Sim Chandikayai Namaha. Bay leaf, flowers Shiva. Om Har Har Mahadev, Pushpam Bilva Patram Samarpayami. Offer flower by the fire. Brahm Agni Namah, Pushpam Samarpayami. Perfume each place. Om Gandham Samarpayami. Umamaheshwaraye Namo Namah. Agindevaye Namah. Ganganapataye Namah. Incense. Om Banaspati Rasudbhuto. Gandhadhyo Gandha Uttama. Take one from the, yeah. Yeah. Agreyang Sarvadevanang Dhupoyam Pratigrihitam Dhupam Samarpayami Ganganapataye Namah Umamaheshwaraye Namo Namah Brahmagnaye Namaha Om Tatsat Dhupam Samarpayami. Arti. Om Sajam Chavarti Sanyuktam Vahin Yojitam Maya Deepam Grihan Deveshe Tailukiti Nirapaham. Holy Sri Gajanan Swami Ki Jai. Alright, Pagabri Prasad. Take a little bit from the, probably hold with, from the Lord Ganesh Prasad, take a little bit, offer into the fire. Ganganapataye Namah Swaha. Little bit. Alright. Devi, one with the name leaf. Namaschandikaya Swaha. From Vaidhi again, Mahaanyapurna Devi Swaha. Next one. Om Namah Shivaya Swaha. Right, so you offer this to Lord Ganesh, Devi, Shiva. Gajanan Swami, Durga Ma, Mahari Baba. Naivedyam Samarpayami. Om Sharkara Khand Khadhyani Dadhi Chirghitani Cha Aharam Bhaksha Bhojam Cha Naivedyam Pratigrihitam. Gajanan Swami Ki Jai. Offer a drop of water on each one. Yeah. Achmanam Samarpayami. You want one drop of water? Alright, yeah. Achmanam Samarpayami. Okay. Can take out the flowers and offer it in front of Vishmurti. And devotees, we prepare ourselves for Havan. All the mantras we say, of course, they are in Sanskrit. So, the first, we begin with Gayatri mantra. And the Gayatri mantra, this is what is called the Mool Gayatri. Referring to Gayatri Devi, the sun. We offer ghee into the fire. Right? Angle is held by the cause by the, yeah. Okay, together everybody. Harihi Om Tat Sat, Harihi Om Tat Sat, Harihi Om Tat Sat. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. 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 Only when I say Swaha, you repeat an awful little drop. Om Prajapatye Swaha. Idam Prajapatye Idam Namama. Om Indraye Swaha. Idam Indraye Idam Namama. Om Agnaye Swaha. Idam Agni Idam Namama. Om Somaye Swaha. Idam Somaye Idam Namama. Om Bhu Swaha. Idam Agni Idam Namama. Om Bhuva Swaha. Idam Vayave Idam Namama. Om Swaha Swaha. Idam Suryaye Idam Namama. Gajanan Swami. Om Ganganapataye Namah Swaha. Om Hrim Shrim Chandikaya Namah. Om Krim Kaliyai Namah. Om Shri Mahalakshmi Mata Bhyo Namo Namah. Om Shri Hrim Saraswatyai Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Narayanaya Swaha. Om Shri Suryaya Namah. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Brahmagnaye Namah Swaha. Om Shri Ishtadevaya Swaha. Kuldevaya Swaha. Asthandevaya Swaha. Gramdevaya Swaha. Vastudevaya Swaha. Sarvadevata Sarvadevi Bhyo Namo Namah Swaha. All four. From the spoon. Alright. Okay. So you have bay leaves there? Alright, so get the bay leaf and we're going to do Mrityunjay mantra. So those of you who don't know the Bij mantra part, just hold on and when you hear Om Trayambakam, jump in. And the last part, Maun. Okay? So those who know it, go with it. So Vivek, at the end of each time you take one of the bay leaf, dip it in the ghee and put it into the fire. The tip facing down below, right around, clockwise direction. Okay? Boliye Srimapati Mahadev ki. Om Haum, Om Jum, Om Saha, Om Bhur, Om Bhuva, Om Swaha, Om Trayambakam Yajamahe. Om Swaha, Om Bhuva, Om Bhur, Om Saha, Om Jum, Om Haum, Om Namah Shivaya, Swaha. Om Namah Shivaya 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 Swaha. Namah Shivaya Swaha. Bole Shri Umapati Mahadeva ki jai. Pick up some Google sugar rice, offer it, sprinkle it around. Sarva Devata Sarva Devi Bhyo Namo Namah Swaha. Sprinkle it around, yeah. You just take some neem leaf and put it in the fire also, one side. Om Namah Chandikaya Swaha. Right. Achman 3 times water around the fire. Om Sarva Papaharang Divyam Gangeyang Nirmalam Jalam Achmanang Chamayadatam Grihitam Purushotamaha Brahmagnaye Namaha. Take a flower and fan the fire towards the Murti 5 times. Om Banaspati Rasodbhuto Gandhadhyo Gandha Uttama Agriyang Sarva Devanang Dhupoyam Pratigrihitam. Put it right there, bow to the fire. Both hands on the flame. Everybody, you get your blessings. Extract that energy from Brahm again. Again Devaye Namaha. Alright, take a flower, Vivek. We concentrate on Lakshmi Ma. ओम नमोस्तु महामाये श्रीपीठे शूरपूजिते शंखचक्र गदाहस्ते महालक्ष्मी नमोस्तुते लक्ष्मी करोतु कल्याणम आरोग्यम सुख संपदाम मम शत्रु विनाशाय दीप ज्योतिर नमोस्तुते ओम श्री सिद्धेश्वरी महालक्ष्मी माता नमो नमः. Offered by the on top. बोलिए श्री महालक्ष्मी माता की जय. Now devotees, for a few moments, I would like you to visualize the Shivlingam, specifically the Shivlingam. Remember when I related the katha to you of Vishwanar and Grihapati? It was the Shivlingam that both Vishwanar and Grihapati worshipped. Now the murti is good, the picture is good. But they said in this age, the lingam is highly recommended. Now, it was in that lingam that Vishwanas saw Bhagwan Shankar. So, I don't know whether you can see it or not, but the stota I'm going to do was the very same one he did. And don't ask for anything. I just want you to concentrate and pray. The Lord knows. He knows better than we know what we need, what is best for us. So, visualize this lingam. Or if you feel you have your own particular one at home, you can visualize it, up to you. But I think that it's nice. Visualize this one right here. And simple, Om Namah Shivaya, pray sincerely. Do that concentration, deep. See if you can visualize Shiva, wherever. Try. बोलिए श्री उमापति महादेव की. ओम अथ अभिलाष अष्टकम एकम ब्रह्मैवाद्वितीयं समस्तम सत्यम सत्यम निह न नास्ति किंचित एको रुद्रो न द्वितीयो वतस्थे तस्माद् एकम त्वां प्रपद्ये महेशम एकः कर्ता त्वं हि सर्वस्य शंभो नानारूपेष्व एकरूपोऽप्य रूपः यद्वत् प्रत्यत् अंक एकोपनेकस् तस्मा नान्यं त्वां विनेशं प्रपद्ये रज्जौ सर्पः शुक्तिकायं च रूप्यं नेरं पुरस्तान् मृगाख्यं मरीचौ यत्तद् विश्वगेश प्रपंचो यस्मिन् ज्ञाति तं प्रपद्ये महेशं तो ये शैत्यं दाहकत्वं च वहनौ तापो भानौ भीतभानौ प्रसादः पुष्पे गंधो दुग्धमध्ये च सर्पिर् यतत् शंभु त्वां ततस्त्वां प्रपद्ये शब्दं गृह्णास्य श्रुतिस्त्वं हि जिघ्रेर् अघ्रानस्त्वं व्यंहिरायासि दूरान् व्यक्षः पश्येस्त्वं रसज्ञोऽप्यजिह्वः कस्त्वां सम्यग् वेततस्त्वां प्रपद्ये नो वेदस्त्वामीश साक्षात् हि वेदः नो वा विष्णुर्विधातखिलस्यं नो योगीन्द्र नेन मुख्याश्च देवा भक्तो वेद त्वामतस्त्वां प्रपद्ये नो ते गोत्रं नापि जन्मापि नाख्या नो वा रूपं नैव शीलं न देशः इतं भूतोऽपीश्वरस्त्वं त्रिलोक्याः सर्वान् कामान् पुरैश्चर्भजे त्वां त्वत्तः सर्वं त्वमि सर्वं स्मरारे त्वं गौरीशस्त्वं च नग्नोऽपि शान्तः त्वं वै वृद्धस्त्वं युवा त्वं च बालस् तत्त्वं यत्किं नास्ति तस्त्वानतोऽस्मि. ओम कर्पूरगौरम करुणावतारम संसारसारम भुजगेन्द्रहारम सदा वसंतम हृदयारविंदे भवम भवानी सहितं नमामि. ओम हर हर महादेव. ओम नमः शिवाय. बोलिए श्री उमापति महादेव की जय. Devotees, today is the final day of the Gupt Navratam. Today is Navami. We glorify Devi. Before we proceed further, visualize Mata. जय भगवती देवी नमो वरदे. जय भगवती देवी नमो वरदे. जय पाप विनाशनि बहुफल दे. जय पाप विनाशनि बहुफल भगवती देवी नमो वरदे। जय शुंभ निशुंभ कपालधारी, जय शुंभ निशुंभ कपालधारी, प्रणमामि तु देवी नरतिहरे। प्रणमामि तु देवी नरतिहरे। जय भगवती देवी नमो वरदे। जय नारायणी जय जय दुर्गे, जय जय अम्बे नमो नमः। ओ जय नारायणी जय जय दुर्गे, जय जय अम्बे नमो नमः। तेरा पावन सुमिरन करते अंतर में सुख भर आता। रोम रोम में प्रेम तिहारा, मन में भक्ति बिखर जाता। जय कल्याणी जय जय दुर्गे, जय जय अम्बे नमो नमः। मन अंतर में मंत्र बनो तुम, जीवन ये बुझा दो। जन्म जन्म के संताप को तेजसी अपनी जल दो। जय रूपाणी जय जय दुर्गे, जय जय अम्बे नमो नमः। मंगलता की देने वाली, मन वंचित फल बरसाई। द्वार तिहारी आके मैया, कोई खाली नहीं जाए। जय ब्रह्मानी जय जय दुर्गे, जय जय अम्बे नमो नमः। ध्यान भजन हम निस दिन करते, मन में जपते नाम विनो। शरण परे तो एक सहारा, मैया तेरा चरण कमल। ध्यान भजन हम निस दिन करते, मन में जपते नाम विमल। शरण परे तो एक सहारा, मैया तेरा चरण कमल। जयति शिवानी जय जय दुर्गे, जय जय अम्बे नमो नमः। जय जय दुर्गे नमो नमः। भवानी माँ, जय जय काली माँ। काली कपालिनी माँ, जय जय काली माँ। काली कपालिनी माँ, जय जय काली माँ। भवानी माँ, जय जय काली माँ। परम शिवानी माँ, जय जय शाली माँ। ओ परम शिवानी माँ, जय जय शाली माँ। हे जगत उद्धारिणी माँ, जय जय काली माँ। हे जगत उद्धारिणी माँ, जय जय काली माँ। भवानी माँ, जय जय काली माँ। परम शिवानी माँ, जय जय अंबिका माँ। परम शिवानी माँ, जय जय चंडिका माँ। ओ जय जय अंबिका माँ। ओ जय जय चंडिका माँ। परम शिवानी माँ, जय जय अंबिका माँ। हे जगत उद्धारिणी माँ, जय जय काली माँ। जगत उद्धारिणी माँ, जय जय काली माँ। दुर्गा भवानी माँ, जय जय काली माँ। दुर्गा भवानी माँ, जय जय काली माँ। बोले श्री आदि शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की जय। Devotees, before we had Parvati Ma and Shiva. Parvati was in a different embodiment, and her name was Sati. But she was also married to Lord Shiva. So this morning we're going to look at a situation, Lord Shiva and Sati. Not Shiva and Parvati, Lord Shiva and Sati. And I will briefly explain at the end what is the difference between Shiva and Sati, Shiva and Parvati. So, Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati, Sati, they live in Kailash Parvat. Once it is said, Bhagwan Shankar and Sati Ma, and Nandi was a vehicle. They went to the ashram of Agastya Baba. Now we won't deal too much with Agastya, but Agastya, just to let you know, was the one who used 3 mantras and he dried up the ocean, the waters from the ocean. Dried it up. Such was his power. Agastya was the guru of Sutikshan Muni. It was to Agastya that Sutikshan Muni went to be initiated so we can continue his spiritual journey. August devotees, very powerful sage. When holy ones come together, they do not waste time in idle discussions. So what took place here? Agastya Baba narrated the Katha of Sri Ram, Ramayana Katha, to Bhagwan Shankar and Sati. Instructive to note that even though Shiva, the Supreme Lord, he knows everything, but with great concentration, feelings, bhav, he listened to the glories of Sri Ram, even though he knew it. You see, when you get substance from something, you always crave for it. So devotees, Agastya Baba, full of love, and whenever one has to recite the glories of the Lord, you should do it with love, not anything otherwise, like Kag Bhushund, true love. Devotees, Ramayana Katha was expounded to Bhagwan Shankar and Goddess Parvati, Satim. And simply, how this Katha was, devotees? So, a simple bhajan will summarize it, you can join me. Ram Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manurame Sahasranam Tatulyam Shri Ramanam Varanane Ram Ram Bhaju Ram Ram Bhaju Ram Ram Bhaju Ram 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 Siya Ram Bhaju Ram Ram Siya Ram Bhaju Ram Ram Siya Ram Bhaju Ram Ram Siya Ram. धर्म काज पृथ्वी पर आए दशरथ जी के पुत्र कहाए जनकपुरी में शिवधन तोरा सती सिया संग नाता जोरा सिया पिया बन राम प्रभु कहलाई सीताराम भजु राम राम सिया राम भजु राम राम सिया राम. पिता वचन के पालनहारे राजपाट जीवन को सिधारे विश्वामित्र यज्ञ रखवाले सती अहल्या तारनहारे पंचवती को बना दिया एक राजधर्म कथा भजु राम राम सिया राम भजु राम राम सिया राम. असुरों को संहार मार कर सेना सहित चली लंका पर अभिमानी रावण को मारा सीता को संकट से उबारा राम राज हो गया देश में गुण गाए हनुमान भजु राम राम सिया राम भजु राम राम सिया राम. राम 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 भजु राम राम भजु राम 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 सिया राम भजले राम राम सिया राम भजु राम राम सिया राम. राम से बर राम Adaw Rama tapu banani gamanang hatmang mrigang kanchanam. Vaidehi haranang jatayu maranang sugriv sambhashanam. Bali nirdhalanam. Samudra taranang. Lanka puri dahanam. Paschat Ravan kumkaran haranang itadhi Ramayanam. Ramayana devotees in a nutshell. Very beautiful. Bhagavan Shankar was state of ecstasy. What else again can we do to recharge this spiritual battery? The power of the name, the glories of the Lord. And this was what these holy ones would do. And that was what they did. After Ramayana Katha and so on devotees, Sati and Bhagavan Shankar again on Nandi, returning to Kailas Parvat. But while returning, there the two of them saw that Bhagavan Sri Ram and Lakshman looking for Sita Mata, searching for Sita. Bhagavan Shankar devotees in a state of ecstasy, overpowered by that love. All the hair, his body standing on end, standing on end, you know. And the tears came to his eyes. The voice choked with Jai Sachidanand Ghan. Jai Sachidanand Ghan. Sachit Anand. Epithets used to be put to our Lord. The form of truth, consciousness, bliss. These are used to refer only to the divine. Only to the divine. Devotees, Bhagavan Shankar, overpowered. Overpowered. He did not go close. From a distance, he made his prostrations. Devotees, great ecstasy, joy. Ratnakara Kuladipa Ratnakara Kuladipa Ratnakara Kuladipa Ratnakara Kuladipa Hindina. Ram Ram Jai Raghukul Tilak Ram Ram Jai Raghukul Tilak Rajiv Lochana Ram Rajiv Lochana Ram Ishwaram Vasut Jai Jagavandhan Ishwaram Vasut Jai Jagavandhan Ratnakara Kuladipa Ratnakara Kuladipa Ratnakara Kuladipa Ratnakara Kuladipa Ram Ram Jai Raghukul Tilak Ram Ram Jai Raghukul Tilak Rajiv Lochana Ram राजीवलोचनः ईश्वरः वसुत जय जगवंदन ईश्वरः वसुत जय जगवंदन रत्नाकर कुलदीपा रत्नाकर कुलदीपा रत्नाकर कुलदीपा रत्नाकर कुलदीपा राम राम जय रघुकुल तिलक हे राजीवलोचन Thus Sri Ram, Rajivalochan, lotus-like eyes, Raghukul Tilak, that jewel, ornament of Raghukul, the solar wish. Sri Ram devotees, Bhaiya Lakshman, searching for Sita Mata in the forest. Bhagwan Shankar bowed. Ecstasy, visible for signs of ecstasy. Sati was in doubt. Satima, she said, "O Lord, the whole world bows to you. And you bowing to a prince? Who is he? Who is he?" Now Bhagwan Shankar devotee is the Supreme Lord, he is the authority. But Sati had doubt. How Bhagwan Shankar could bow to Sri Ram, all-knowing prince? Then Bhagwan Shankar said, "Sati, I said Satchidananda is who he is. But if you have doubts as to who he is, his nature, temperament, go and test him." Now Sati was under a test and she didn't realize it. But she wanted to go and test. She said, "Yes, I will go." But Bhagwan Shankar said, "If you're going to test Sri Ram, use discriminative power. Think carefully. Don't act blindly. Act wisely." Bhagwan Shankar said, "Until you come back, I will sit under this butt tree and I will relax you and test and come back." Devotees, Sati went. Now she realized from the katha she heard that Sri Ram is looking for Sita. So what she did, she impersonated Sita. Power, transformed herself into Sita's form. So Sri Ram and Lakshman searching this way, Sita coming this way. Lakshman saw Sita coming. Now look at the difference between Lakshman and Sati. Lakshman saw Sita coming. Lakshman said, "Hey, the last time we manifested, we killed Ravan before Sita come. But now Sita coming from before. How is this?" But they say, "You know what? I don't understand the work of the Lord, the power of the Lord, the maya of the Lord. Let me shut up." Understanding the difference here? So Sati questioned Shivaji, who is authority. Lakshman devotees, recognizing, said, "There is something I don't understand. Let me stay quiet and observe." Observe. You know, they always say, put your brain in gear before you put your mouth in motion. All you know that? Like many people, they mouth in motion long before the gear going. And they end up in monkey pants, so to speak, you know. So devotees, Lakshman didn't say anything. Sati's impression would be that Sri Ram would recognize Sita and maybe ask Sita, "Where have you been? They have been searching." Nothing like that. When Sita came, Sati in Sita's form, Sri Ram from a distance, he joined both hands together and said, "Oh mother," I put it to you simply, "why are you roaming about the forest on your own? Where is Vrishabhavan?" Shiva. Where is Shiva? Where have you left him roaming about in this dangerous forest all alone? Devotees, how would Sri Ram know that unless he is that supreme? That the first shock Sati got, imitating Sita, disguising Sita. And devotees, she closed her eyes. She felt embarrassed, naturally so. You're testing Sri Ram. And devotees, she closed her eyes. If that earth could have opened and she could sink inside there, she would be very happy. But that won't happen. It happened to Sita. Sita came out here, she will go back into the earth. Not Sati. Sati, Sita, there are difference. Devotees, she closed her eyes. And then she got a darshan. From every single direction what she saw. Sri Ram, Sita and Lakshman coming. Sri Ram, Sita and Lakshman coming. Who she was testing? Maya, delusion. Devotees, she closed her eyes and she has been there, highly embarrassed. Then Sri Ram smiled. He withdrew all that darshan. She was looking to get that darshan. Sri Ram, Sita and Lakshman. But here Sri Ram and Lakshman alone. And devotees, Sri Ram continued his journey. Sati, very distressed. She returned to where Bhagwan Shankar was sitting there in meditation. Quietly, in a peaceful, relaxing, I shouldn't say meditation, in a relaxed mood. Because what Bhagwan Shankar knows, what is to happen is going to happen, destiny will take effect. I could tell you what I want to tell you. If certain thing is your destiny, why go? You have to face up to your destiny. If you suffer the consequences, your choice. Listen carefully. Bhagwan Shankar relaxed. He's untainted, unaffected. Everybody has, and I keep saying over and over, you are on your own journey. You want to make a mess, you fix up. Devotees, Bhagwan Shankar sat there quietly and Sati come back. But before I go further, if you're listening carefully to me, you will ask a question. Which Bhagwan Shankar and Sati listened to Ramayana Katha, the whole Katha from Agastya Baba. How come Sri Ram and Lakshman now looking for Sita in the present? Now, those of you who have heard me explain this, that question will come to mind. Those of you who haven't heard me, or this Katha before, you may not think anything about it, and that's where the problem lies. If you're listening carefully, you don't listen and swallow everything. You analyze as you are hearing. Use your antahakaran. How does it make sense that Ramayana Katha was here, and now Sri Ram and Lakshman now looking for Sita? Time-wise, chronologically, how could this be? Now, devotees, this is why, we see people are intellectually lazy. Sit down and swallow anything. This is why people fool us all the time. Tell all kinds of stupidness, and we swallow it hook, line, and sinker, because we don't question. I hope you question. So, I question, I'll give you the answer. It goes back to devotees to another incident, where after Sri Ram destroyed Ravan, became Raja Ram, he returned to Ayodhya Puri, Raja Ram. He became Raja Ram. One day, he, Bharat, Lakshman, Shatrughan, and Hanuman Baba, they went to the bank of the Saryu. There they were, relaxing and so on. So Hanuman Baba normally massaging Sri Ram, right, Daddy? Massaging Sri Ram, blessed to be massaging Sri Ram, but stressed. He was disturbed. Hanuman Baba was a little bit, So Sri Ram said, Hanuman, something is troubling you. What is it? Tell me. What is worrying you? See, Hanuman Baba was very, very, I don't know how to express how he felt at that point in time. Embarrassed. He said, Lord, yes, there is something that is worrying me a bit. During the course of the battle with Ravan, when I went to the mountain, Himalayan mountain, right? I went to fetch the Jivan Bhuti, came back flying. I flew over Mount Kailas. And while flying over Mount Kailas, Lord Shiva was talking to Goddess Parvati. And Lord Shiva told Parvati, O Parvati, Meghnad struck Hanuman a blow, and Hanuman fell unconscious. Hanuman Baba said, Prabhu, this is worrying me. My own experience is telling me that never happened. Follow analysis. It never happened. I know it never happened. But Lord Shiva would not tell a lie. So I can't understand. I'm confused. See? You have to analyze and devote. You can't jump to conclusions just so easy. Fast. Some of us think we're too smart. I know. What do you know? What I know is that you're eye specialist. Ego. The egoist he knows everything. Without even trying to question, you jump to conclusions. No. Watch what is happening here. And the Ramayana has many such circumstances where the solution was careful dialogue, and devotee, there is always something we don't know about. You need to find out about that. This was Hanuman's situation. Lord, I know it didn't happen to me, but Lord Shiva doesn't tell a lie, so I can't understand this. This is my problem. Said Lord, Sri Ram took out a ring he had in his finger and threw it in the Saryu. He didn't answer, He just threw this ring into the Saryu and said, Hanuman, fetch my ring. Hanuman didn't question. Dutiful disciple of his master. He dived into that Saryu. But that dive took him into the lower regions of Sipatal. When he reached to the lower regions, he saw a sage sitting there in deep meditation. His name was Kapil Muni. Kapil. Hanuman went and offered prostrations, and Kapil Muni looked up to him. He saw him. He said, Hanuman, see Ram's avatar about to come to an end? Hanuman more confused now. How that could happen? How does he know that? Hanuman said, O Holy One, I can't say. And devotees said, Kapil had in his lota Ganga Jal. That Ganga Jal at that time was pure white like milk. Yeah, white like milk. So people could drink it. Now you go now, what do you call that Ganga? I don't want to say any color, but I don't know what it is. Impure. Different things floating in Ganga. At that time, Ganga was pure white like milk. When Kapil saw that, he said, what? Treta is coming to an end? Hanuman said, Oh, Holy One, my master lost his ring and I'm looking for the ring. Have you seen any ring around here? A ring, How you could see a ring somewhere? But all this thing is planned. Kapil said, Hanuman, there's a cave to the back of me. Go in there. You'll find the ring, take it. When Hanuman went into that cave, he saw countless rings of this very same description. Countless rings. He was more confused. Which one is the one Sri Ram just threw? He went back to Sri Ram and said, Prabhu, this is what happened. Then Sri Ram said, Hanuman, each ring you see inside here represents one time you and I, we took manifestation as Ram and Hanuman. So in other words, we have taken manifestations countless times. Countless times. This is not the only time. What happens? You are aware of only the present. Lord Shiva knows it all. So when Lord Shiva was saying that, may not struck you a blow, not in this manifestation, previous one. So you are right and Shiva is also right. Nobody wrong. Based upon your own experience, you need to have that doubt. But this is the clarification. It did not happen in this manifestation, a previous manifestation. So devotees come back to the thing. Satyug, Treta, Dwapar and Kali Yuga. These 4 ages, they call it Chatur Yuga. When these 4 ages pass 1,000 times, it's called one of Brahma's day. 360 Brahma's day is 1 year. Now, you can count that? Some of we 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years, we're well old. We don't know what age. In our time, Hindu concept of time. And what we are told in every Treta, the Lord manifests as Sri Ram. Every Treta. Now what we are going through right now, devotees, this is the Chatur Yuga, Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga. So in this age, Treta gone by, Satyug, Treta, Dwapar, right? Before this, there was another Chatur Yuga, when Sri Ram manifested. And before that, and countless times. Countless times. So when Agastya Baba related Sri Ram's Katha, it wasn't present Sri Ram Katha. It was what already happened. And these Kathas take place with minor differences from age to age, manifestation to manifestation. Devotees, if you could understand this, and also, there's a question of parallel worlds. In Shaivism, they speak of the theory of reflection. Like, I've mentioned this one time, have a cup-shaped glass, mirror, put an image inside there, and watch and see. Countless images you're going to see going to infinity. Which is the real one? Where does it start? Where does it end? This is why the scriptures tell us, don't worry about the past, don't worry about the future. Now is what counts. The present. Okay? So don't confuse all yourself and thing, but when you see, you think you know all that, well, you know devotees scratching the surface. Kalbhushan, same way. When he was swallowed into the body of Sri Ram, countless universes he saw. He said 100 universes, 100 years in many. And when Sri Ram coughed him out, was about 2 hours past in the present. He said 100 years in many universes. Time, relative. You see? So this, I think Hindu scriptures, Shaluna devotee story, I challenge you to understand story if you can. So this answers the question if you understand. Agastya Baba was relating a previous Treta, what happened, not the present Treta. So that answers the question. And they say Ram Anant, Anant Gunani. Say Ram is infinite, his glories are infinite. Right now in our world system, we have Kali Yuga. There can be another parallel world somewhere where Treta is existing. And Sri Ram is functioning there. And science check and see they're discovering different worlds going by. How you could find the end of this? They're using the Hubble telescope, right? And they're getting new things from all distance, new worlds. They're finding place similar to Earth. Images they get in. All that in justifying what Hindu scriptures say. Okay? So devotees, we belong to something that is depthless, you know. Depthless. So we have to wake up a little bit now. You cannot be intellectually lazy. And believe me, if you can't swim in deep, you better bail in the sand. Bail in the sand. Take a boat and sand and throw in your hair and thing. Okay? But don't condemn the ocean. It's there. Very, very deep. So devotees is something to understand. This is why we know whatever done in the past, it affects the present. Destiny is there. Nobody gets away, no matter what you do. Koi la kari chaturai, karma kale khamite nari bhai. Nobody could rub it off. It must take effect. Good or bad. Good or bad. The only way you can avoid this is to work it out. Surrender, unconditionally. Burn away all the karmas. Then you're free. But until then, you're creating more karmas. Okay? So devotees, all these little points need to be understood. So let's get back to the katha. Right? Sati went back and she saw Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva said, Sati, did you test Sri Ram? She said, no, Lord. I went on a bow and I come back. She lied. Yeah? Bhagwan Shankar then took a vow that as long as you in this embodiment to Sati, you cannot have your rightful place on my left. Not going to happen. Now Lord Shiva gave vexed and no slap up on thing, you know. You know how people do. You're lying, nothing. Lord Shiva took a vow, as long as you're in this form, you cannot and you are not going to have your place on my left. The wife's lawful position. Devotees, when he took that vow, words say, oh Shivaji, what a terrible vow. What a terrible vow. Sati became agitated. Oh Lord, what vow did you take? What vow did you take? Bhagwan did not answer. But he didn't have to answer, did he? I don't have to answer him if you call me, you know. It's my choice to answer you. Bhagwan didn't answer. He went back home, Kailas Parbat. And Sati never had that position again. He went into meditation, Shivaji did. Long time. And to wrap it up, we go soon know what happened. Many years, but Parvati, Sati, she began to, in that period of time she was alone. Because Shivaji meditation. Nothing to do with Sati. Nothing to do. No interaction whatsoever. Sati was alone. And in that practice she realized the nonsense she did. You have to analyze. Acceptance is the first step towards correction. And she continued to worship Shiva. In her own way, worshiping. Thinking, yes, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have lied to my Lord. I should have believed what he was saying. But devotees, when you see the horse get away, then you go lock the stable door. Horse gone already. Yeah? This is why that is saying, put your brain in gear before you put your mouth in motion. Think before you act. Yeah? So devotees, sometime later on, Sati's father was Daksh. His name was Daksh. He had a yagya. He invited all the devatas. All. Vishnu Bhagwan, all. He did not invite Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva, as you say, the Katha goes, was his son-in-law. And why didn't he invite Lord Shiva? Once there was an assembly of all the holy ones. all the sages, all the forms of divinity. And Daksh, who was promoted, he got a promotion, right? To become Prajapati, the Lord of created beings. So when he walked in, everybody stood up, offering obeisance. Brahmaji didn't stand, nor did Vishnuji, nor Lord Shiva. When Daksh saw Brahma, Vishnu, and Vishnu Bhagwan sitting down, he didn't mind. When he saw Lord Shiva sitting, he began to burn with rage. Why didn't he get up and offer obeisance to me? That's my son-in-law. Yeah. Devotees. So he decided to do a yagya and to invite Shiva. He took a decision unilaterally. He's the boss. He's the big man. No Shiva worship. None. So I'm not going to invite Shiva and Sati. Invite everybody else. And devotees, you have all kind of big priests supporting him, Bhrigu and all them big powerful fellas, Now check and see, sometimes in society, certain people behave like this. Arrogance, conceit, power, wealth, position. And they want to do things unilaterally and contravene principles. Scripture says no devotion can come to fruition unless you worship Shiva. Meaning no dispassion, no fulfillment. Daksh decided to do different. And devotees, Sati saw all the devatas and the consorts going, she had many devata, but when he saw the Devi and them dressed up in nice sari and then long jhumka and thing, she wanted to go too. We all are going. Your father have a yag. There's a yag at your father's home. My father didn't invite me. But no problem, it's my father's yag. Devotees, she went to Lord Shiva and said, Lord, my father is having a yag here, but we are not going. Lord Shiva said, we didn't get invitation. Sati Ma said, do I have to get invitation to go to my father's place? Bhagwan Shankar made a very relevant statement that's relevant for all times. A person could go to one's master's home at any time, to one's guru's home at any time, to one's friend's home at any time, one's parents' home at any time. But if ever there is a conflict, do not go without invitation. And I add my piece. You have to look at the mode of invitation if you're invited before you decide to go. So, like now, social media, you go, come if you want to come. Is that an invitation? May I want to come? I ain't coming. You have to look at it. The point is if there is conflict. And many people don't seem to understand that. You see, the human being behaves very, very strange. And if you think they change, you're in for a shock. Most people can't drop the baggage that they carry in. This is why, as they are saying, avoid those that are vexatious to the soul. I don't have to interact with you. I don't have to. Bhagwan Shankar made that point. There is a conflict between your father and myself. He expected, and two reasons, right? Devotees, why he was wrong. Without Shiva, devotion incomplete, and Shiva was his son-in-law. And from Hindu tradition, we worship the son-in-law man. Right? The son-in-law don't worship you. Don't take out no stupidness all I see on ZTV na. When I had to get married, he bought when he found a foot, more than a foot, everybody foot. That is not Hindu culture. That is Z culture. Follow? And many people fall in that stupidness now. If you notice, many things like weddings and so on, the same rubbish they're doing there, people want to do the same thing here too. I make no apologies for this statement. Right? Those fellas there, the movie makers, they're twisting things in a different direction. Values are being watered down, destroyed. So don't take on them rubbish there. No? From a Hindu perspective, when we marry our daughters, we worship our daughter and son-in-law. Wash their feet, do RTF, etc. From that day onward, that family becomes my puja kul, the lineage I worship. Now, many people can't understand that. Right? So we say from since then, if you're married like that, the daughters don't do their own parents' arati. If I can't do my parents' arati, why am I do he parents' arati for? This is the argument. That argument? Well, I keep saying, the kind of rubbish people here, and they're saying, anything you feel, not the principle that governs things. You see? There's a principle in it. I worship you, I adore you. I put you on a pedestal. You are the lineage that I worship. Same people, sometimes when I tell them, I say, so, you do my arti, so I could come back and do your arti. No, Guruji, how you could do that? Same thing I'm telling you. If you worship me, I can't turn around and do your arti, worship you. But emotion more than principle governs people. This is why see things are going to go down and down and down. Because principles not being maintained. You think you're maintaining principles. Nah. You're doing what you feel. What you feel is right. But as I said, Hanuman Baba didn't make that mistake. You know, so many in the past, Hanuman Baba again, when he was guarding the cave, see Ram Lakshman abducted. They could have fight there, right? Because Hanuman wasn't guard, he said, I didn't see anything. But question, dialogue, you analyze, you go back to the principles, devotees. Don't make the mistake. You see? So Daksh, these two mistakes he made. And watch what would happen. Bhagwan Shankar said, no Sati, I am not going. But, you know, I have to be careful what I was saying here because more and more the ladies saying, you know, you're talking about we and this and that in the other. But the scriptures tell us three how women's nitya. She insisted, why I can't go? I want to go. Bhagwan Shankar again is teaching all of us as men a lesson. No slap up on thing. No domestic violence. No stupidness like that. She has a right to make her choices. But whatever choice you make, you suffer the consequences. That's your problem. But I will do what I have to do. Bhagwan Shankar says, Sati, if you insist on going, go ahead. But I am not going. I am not going. And what Bhagwan Shankar did, he got his disciples to go with Sati to make sure she is protected. So he did what he had to do. You understand? Lady want to go, you insist on, I want to go. But I take, you know, preventive measure as best as I can. Whatever happens is destiny. I can't fight it. Devotees, when you behave so you have plenty of peace of mind, you know, I'm telling you. You have to work and grind up yourself, no? Because each person on your own, I keep saying that. You insisting, that is what you want. You go ahead, boy. I can't stop you. You have your right. No, it doesn't make you right. Go ahead. So devotees, Sati went, and in short, she was highly disrespected. The sisters laughed at her. Daksh became red with anger when he saw her. I said, I didn't invite you, why you come? He didn't say it, but implication, no? Devotees, the only person to welcome Sati was mother. The mother is different, the mothers are different. You know, she tried to pacify, but say what? And devotees, when Sati went to the place where the yag was being done, she saw a place put aside for all the devatas. Like in a yag, you see in Beri, we have place for Ganesh Baba, place for Gauri Ma, place for Shiva. All these things are not by chance, these things are done in a particular way. I explained this already to you all before. Why the temple itself, holy places, different. Energies are consecrated all around. Yeah? Same thing with a yag. But in this yag here, no place for Lord Shiva. When Sati saw that, she couldn't bear it. Disrespect to Shiva. And you know, in that state, she said to her father simply that this body of mine has come from your sinful loins. I can't remain in this body any longer. You have disrespected Bholenath, Vishavahan, and I can't remain in this body any longer because this body came from you. And devotees, as we say, in a state of anger, is it anger? She created Yoga Agni and she burnt herself in the father's yag. Well, needless to say, the whole yag turned upside down. So when people think you're doing a yag and everything will be good, don't think so now? Make a mistake, do stupidness and see what will happen. And you know what? It's very instructive. The same priests who went along with Daksh to collect the Dakshina and so on, when trouble started, then the force will make tracks. Daksh had to face up to it himself. You see, this is why I keep saying, even in the priesthood you have Jaisa Kach Kache Vaisa Nach Nache. Many priests dance to the tune of other people. And when somebody wants to dance to your own tune, like how they say he arrogant. I couldn't care less. I have my conscience to live with. May dance into nobody's tune. Follow? But this is what happens. You pacify, you want to curry favor to people in important positions. You're not God, man. I believe in one. He's the giver of everything. Data ekaram, bhikhari sari dunya. Attitude, devotees, not arrogance. So you see, those priests ran away, and that yag was destroyed. Daksh was beheaded. Right? I won't go into more detail, maybe some other time when Bhagwan Shankar appeared in, Virya Bhadra, powerful, destructive form. He it was who went there and destroyed everything and beheaded Daksh. But Daksh's wife was a good person, she begged and so on, and they give him back his life, but with a goat head. a goat head. Now all that has symbolic meaning, right? So when people hear goat head, they say, aha, no. Pillars of a goat, right? It is of a goat. Why don't you give him a hog head? A goat head. This symbolizes transcending the three gunas. That is deeper. We can't go into all that. So devotees, Sati burnt herself. And then many of you have heard the katha when Bhagwan Shankar left Kailash Parbat and he traveled because he couldn't stay in Kailash Parbat. And he went to Nirgir Parbat. Beautiful kathas. Yeah? He listened to Ramayana katha and he was able to continue with his duties. But devotees, Sati, the katha goes on. This thing is very long. I have to finish it now. A demon called Tarkasur, he performed tapasya to overcome all the devatas. He prayed, if anybody has to destroy me, it must be at the hands of a son of Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva, wife burns himself, and Lord Shiva in dhyan all the time, he is thinking about getting married again. So trouble for the devatas. Bad trouble for the devatas. This story now, right? And so Lord Shiva in meditation, they sent Kamdev to test him. You know who Kamdev is? Cupid, who ended up being stupid. Right? The god of love. He went and tried to tempt Lord Shiva, and Shiva burned him to ashes. Kamdev, Kam Shatru. Shivaji is Kam Shatru. Yeah? Burn him to ashes. And devotees, but you know, the devatas prayed and so on. You have to, you know, we are in bondage. Tarkasur is destroying us, help us. And devotees, who could marry Shiva? That's Sati, Devi Ma. The devatas had to pray to her to manifest herself, which she did at the home of Himalaya Parbat, Himalaya, in the form of Parvati Ma. And from small she performed tapasya, instigated by the international mischief maker, Narad Muni. Right? From small she prayed, and what her objective was, I want to get married to Lord Shiva. And the katha goes. And devotees, in due course, a whole set, maybe some other time, you know, maybe next week we will look at the marriage. I don't know, let me see how I feel, right? How Lord Shiva got married to Parvati, but they got married. And so you had Shiv Parvati. And devotees, from then to now we have Shiv Parvati. Parvati make the kind of mistake like Sati. So this is what the Shiv Puran tells us, but what does it mean to me now? So to put it in a very simple way, Ari Shankar said, Atma Tvam Girija Mati. Oh Shiva, you are Atma. But Mati, the intellect, is Girija. And devotees, Girija here will be Sati and Parvati. So follow me closely, right? Daksh symbolizes ego, I-ness, attitude and so on. Sati represents what we term to be the unenlightened intellect. So there are two stages of the intellect, actually three. The enlightened, the unenlightened, and one in between, the relative. So Sati behaving, go testing Sri Ram, doubting Bhagwan Shankar, telling a lie, impersonating Sita. That is how the unenlightened intellect functions. Very gross, very base, demeaning attitude. But what brings about the enlightened intellect? Daksh, ego. So when a person is very egoistic, self-centered, don't tell me nothing, I know. You lie, you cheat, you're dishonest, you don't realize you're creating a spider web around yourself, tying up yourself to self-destruct. That it never fails yet. That was what Sati did. Unenlightened intellect. Excuses, lies. You tell one lie, you have to tell 10 lies to justify that one lie. And lying ad nauseum. When will it end? And all because of ego. I. It doesn't work, devotees. Sati was discarded. You cannot, as a matter of fact, be in this state of mind, unenlightened intellect, and Shiva, 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 Shiva. Nothing happening. Nothing happening. You cannot, Shiva will not identify with Sati. This is how you have to take it. So for all of us, if you think you're telling your lie daily, you're playing your game, what, and Shiva, 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 continue. Let me see where you're going. You never attain Shiva. Never. Once there is that ego inside of you, you have to work it out. Devotees, when Sati was discarded, then she began to think, analyze, and she began to worship. The intellect undergoes transformation. That is the relative intellect. Until when you see there is high yogic advancement, high level of thinking, Himalaya. Parvati became the daughter of Himalaya. You cannot have Parvati as the enlightened intellect. Enlightened intellect. That intellect that sees principle. No scheme, no trick, no lies. And devotees here, to bring back down, to come back at gross level, Shrek and donkey. Shrek and donkey, when Shrek say donkey, I'm like an onion, donkey saying smelling bad, Shrek saying no, I have many layers. The two kind of intellect. One seen only grossness, baseness, the other seen principle. Which state are you in? It is only Parvati could marry to Shiva, not otherwise. And only when they could get married together, then have Swami Kartikai, who will destroy Tarkasur. The illusion of duality. That's philosophy. Beautiful story. They will tell us lessons also, but devotees, so many principles in this thing. It all goes back to us. So we are worshipping Shiva, right? Shiva drinking poison, Shiva doing the world, all about people doing this, you know. But you don't realize, to attain to Shiva, what you need to do. Devotees, many years ago, in a certain yagya, a pandit said this katha, but he didn't interpret it. So they asked me to talk, you know, my big mouth, and I mentioned all that. So he wanted to put me down. As I left the podium, he said, Bhavani Shankaro Bande Shraddha Viswasa Rupinao. Trying to quote Tulsidas. Bhavani Shankar, Bhavani and Shankar, right? Shraddha Viswas, Shraddha and Viswas. Bhavani Shraddha, belief, faith, right? Bhagavan Shankar is Viswas. That devotees, yes, that's a different level. That's a different level. This is metaphysical I'm talking about here. So the same personalities at different levels, you can represent different principles. You have to have the sense to apply it. And sometimes this so bothers me. Sit down on a singhasan, try to put me down, you even understand what I'm saying. And I could explain. I could tell you. Ask me and I will tell you. You see? But this is the problem we have. Ego. Every man knew. How do you talk in shop in this man? Follow them till this practical. Common sense. If you are very gross, base, worldly minded, it is difficult to reach Shiva. Why? Take it philosophically. Shiva is dispassion. If you're worldly minded, how you go worship Shiva? You want to give up anything? Eat, drink, make merry when you're dead, bury. That is your philosophy. You can't identify with Shiva. The concept of Shiva. Follow? But if the intellect is advanced, developed, then you can, what do you call it, dispassion comes in. And then you can go forward towards freedom from bondage, liberation. This whole thing, not story, is a journey. So devotees, as we prepare ourselves for Shivratri, understand this particular katha, bear it in mind. You have to talk to yourself a lot. The more egoistic you are, the more worldly minded you are. And from the time I finish here, I could bet 100, I could bet my life. Somebody will come, Guruji so and so and so, Guruji so and so and so. Worldly thing. Point, worldly thing. So now I say that, nobody will come. That's good. I know what I'm doing. Yeah. You see? But devotees, you have to make an effort to go there. All your whole life you're praying, going through motions. We need to understand at a deeper level, practice at a higher level. It is for us. Nobody could do it for me. Nor for you. We are responsible for ourselves. So this intellect, devotees, intellect controls the mind, which controls the senses. If the mind, if the intellect is in the unenlightened state, you can imagine what the mind doing. And worse yet, you can imagine what the horse is doing, the senses. You have no peace of mind. No peace of mind. But if the enlightened intellect controls the mind, then everything in control. Everything in control. Control the senses. Control of the mind. Success is bound to come. You are at a different level, devotees. And again emphasizing, I can't do it for you. I'm putting the lessons to you. I could do it for myself. And believe me, it working, eh? Yes, well work. I can testify to that. The peace you feel inside when you reach a different level. So devotees, Shiv Puran, beautiful katha. This is Ramayana katha also. So this morning was a whole lot of things I've given to you. This is what Hindu philosophy is all about. Reflect upon it. No laziness. You know, to me, it is a joy to have such philosophy. On my hair is raised when I think about this kind of thing. Nothing to compare with it. Absolutely nothing to compare with it. Okay, devotees? So bear the point in mind. And remember, I like what Shiva do. I learned from him. Girl, you want to go on the water? You go. I can't stop you, you know. I may get vexed, may beating you up, I may kill myself either. You fix up. Jaisa karni, vaisa bharni. Every cause has an effect concealed. And every effect is cause revealed. You are responsible for you. Take charge. Nothing more I can say about that. Bole Sri Umapati Mahadeva ki jai. Devotees will conclude here. Some of them might get carried away with the time. So we'll have preparation for the final Havan. And while preparation are being made, devotees, well, let's glorify Bhagavan Krishna, no? Simple way again. Is that okay? Huh? Sure. Dan, pick up a little bit na pani phone side too, right? After mix up on them now. So devotees has quite some time, sometimes I'm sleeping and I'm feeling here in Balmukund. Jai Balmukunda Krishna Govinda Yashomati ke laal ki ye murali manohar madhur sarona madhusudan ki aarti. Jai Balmukunda. ये जग में ज्योति अंतकरण की प्रकाश कराने वाला परमार्थ बताने वाला ये श्याम सुंदर की वर गिरधर की चहु ओरा उजियारे ये मुरली मनोहर मधुर सरोना मधुसूदन की आरती. जय बालमुकुंदा. ये अमृत वाणी वेद बखानी संत रिझाने वाला भव पार करने वाला ब्रह्म ज्ञान यही स्वर्ग धाम यही कुंजन मोहन छवि धाम की ये मुरली मनोहर. ये संपत्ति दाता अघ को मिटाता तीर मिटाने वाला धन ध्यान बधाने वाला कवि कृष्ण हृदय में कवि कृष्ण हृदय में दीप जले अनहद घंटा ध्वनि बाज रहे ये मुरली मनोहर मधुर सलोना मधुसूदन की आरती. जय बालमुकुंदा कृष्ण गोविंदा यशोमती के लाल की ये मुरली मनोहर मधुर सलोन मधुसूदन की आरती। जय बाल मुकुंदा, जय बाल मुकुंदा, जय बाल मुकुंदा। Let's be each time when I say swaha. When it's 5 more times, I will tell you. Om Ganganapataye Namah Swaha. Put it around, right? Yeah. Gauri Mata Swaha. Prithvi Mata Swaha. Panchalupali Vaya Swaha. Om Namo Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namah Shivaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Swaha. Sisuryari Naugrahadevaya Swaha. Brahmagnaye Namah Swaha. Om Hrim Sim Chandikayai Namah Swaha. Om Krim Kaliyai Namah Swaha. Mahalakshmi Mata Bhyo Namo Namah Swaha. Om Shrim Hrim Saraswatyai Swaha. Om Shri Ishwari Devi Swaha. Om Shri Parameshwari Devi Swaha. Om Shri Shitala Devi Swaha. Om Shri Mahanyapurna Devi Swaha. Om Shri Mangala Devi Swaha. Om Shri Chandi Devi Swaha. Om Shri Mansa Devi Swaha. Om Hrim Shashti Devyai Swaha. Shri Das Mahavidya Devyabhyo Namo Namah Swaha. Sarva Devi Bhyo Namo Namah Swaha. Om Shri Hanumate Namah Swaha. Sita Ramachandrai Bhyo Namo Namah Swaha. Radha Krishnai Namah Swaha. Om Shri Ishtadevai Swaha. Om Shri Kuldevai Swaha. Om Shri Asthandevai Swaha. Om Shri Gram Devai Swaha. Om Shri Itarkaram Pradhan Devaya Swaha. 5 times again. Vastu Devaya Swaha. 33 crore Devta Bhyo Namo Namah Swaha. Sarva Devta Sarva Devi Bhyo Namo Namah Swaha. Anand Swarupai Brahmane Namah Swaha. Om Shri Guruve Namaha Swaha. Offer Paul. Okay, wash your hands. Please all stand, devotees. We perform Purnahuti. Pick up the leaf, what you have tied up here. Concentrate on Bhagavan Shankar. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shambhavaya Cha Mayobhavaya Cha. Namah Sankaraya Cha Mayaskaraya Cha. Shivaya Cha Shivtaraya Cha. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Purnamidah Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Sarvam Vai Purnagvam Swaha. Put it one side on top. Inside the fire. Alright. Offer water 3 times. Om Sarva Papaharang Dibyam Gangeyang Nirmalam Jalam Achmanang Chamayadatam Grahitam Purushotamaha Brahmagnaye Namaha. Bow to the fire 5 times. Om Brahmagnaye Namaha. Alright. So devotees, we have our normal arati. We join together. Om Jai Jagadish Hari. Right. So Vivek, you know what to do, right? Arti right on? Yeah. Om Sajang Chavarti Sanyuktam Vahinya Yohitam Maya Deepam Grihan Devi Se Tairukit Nirapam Deepam Samarpayami.
Jagadish Hari Swami Jai Jagadish Hari जनों के संकट दास जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरि। स्वामी तुम अंतर्यामी पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर तुम सबके स्वामी ओम जय जगदीश हरे तुम करुणा के सागर तुम पालन करता स्वामी तुम पालन करता दीन दयालु कृपालु दीन दयालु कृपालु कृपा करो भरता ओम जय जगदीश हरे तुम हो एकयं गोचर सबके प्राणपति स्वामी सबके प्राणपति किस विधि मिलो दया में किस विधि मिलो दया में तुमको मैं कुमति ओम जय जगदीश हरे दीन बंधु दुख हरता ठाकुर तुम मेरे स्वामी ठाकुर तुम मेरे अपने हाथ उठाओ अपने हाथ उठाओ द्वार पर तेरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे विषय विकार मिटाओ पाप हरो देवा स्वामी पाप हरो देवा श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ संतन के सेवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संकट दास जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे
शिव हरे शिव राम सखी प्रभु त्रिविधताप निवारण हे विभु अज जनेश्वर यादव पाहिमा शिव हरे विजयं कुरु मे वरं शिव हरे विजयं कुरु मे वरं प्रतिदिनं कुशलं जय मङ्गलं प्रतिदिनं मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुध्वज मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्ष मंगलाय तनुहरि ओम अवाहनम न जानामि विसर्जनम पूजां चैव न जानामि क्षम्यतां परमेश्वर परमेश्वरी ओम गच्छ तुलश्रेष्ठ स्वस्थाने परमेश्वर यत्र ब्रह्मादयो देवास्तत्र गच्छुतासन ओम लाभस्तेषां जयस्तेषां कुतस्तेषां पराजया येषामिन्दी वर्षामो हृदयस्तु जनार्दन ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ओम मंत्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं गणेश्वर हे परमेश्वरी हे सदाशिव हे जनार्दन हे कपीश्वर हे अग्नीश्वर यत्पूजितं मया देवा हे देवी मा परिपूर्णं तदस्तु मे ओम असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मा अमृतं गमय ओम गच्छ त्वं भगवन् अग्नि स्वस्थाने कुंडं मध्यतः हुतम् आदाय देवेभ्यः शीघ्र देहि प्रसीद मे ब्रह्मज्ञये नमः ओम त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरि ओम। बोले श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय, श्री सत्यनारायण स्वामी की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय, उदय शाह जगन्नाथ की जय, आर शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की जय। बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। बोलिए श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। बोलिए श्री स्वाहा माता की शुभमस्तु। Blessings to all. Kindly be seated.
Sitaram, announcements for today. Just a reminder, Shivatri celebrations take place on the 18th of February. We'll be having this on 2 sessions, in the morning and in the night. Further details will be given. We will have a list of ingredients that we will give out to you all, that you all will bring on the morning session and then in the evening session. Just a reminder that we are still updating our membership. Membership forms have been given out, and we ask that those of you all who have filled out the form to return it to us. We still have membership forms. I know that many of you all said that you have been a member for a long while. What we are asking is that all members to fill out these forms and bring it back so we can update our membership. Music classes begin next week. So those of you all who are interested, you can start next week after service. Service continues as usual next Sunday. Sitaram, and thank you all.
Thank you, Annie. And this morning we say blessings to this young man, Vivek Hingu, who performed Havan. Today is his birthday. And there isn't a better place you can celebrate your birthday or begin to celebrate your birthday than a Gyan Deepak. And you know, my mind went back, your father was associated, your mother, over the years, you also. It's nice to have you. And I want to wish you all the best. You're 37 years old today. You don't look that though. You want to convey the impression to me that you're old. You're not old yet, you're still young yet. Alright? Life will have many challenges ahead still yet, and many achievements that you will have to go for. So keep it going, be positive. Blessings to you, happy birthday, and all the best for the future. Okay? Devotees, blessings to everybody. Let me apologize for taking a few more minutes of your time. This is normally happens. I get carried away sometimes. Okay? I try to not to get carried away next time. Okay? Blessings to everybody. We look forward to seeing you next week. Stand up, Vivek. Sakalpan Sitaram. Jai Sitaram. Blessings, devotees.